Adrian Croft from Reuters. A question about Syria following the weekend car bomb attacks in Syria. Firstly, for the Secretary General, has Turkey asked for consultations with NATO or made any requests for additional NATO support? And for General Breedlove, can I ask whether the car bombings at the weekend will prompt any more NATO action in support of Turkey or any more involvement by NATO in the Syrian conflict? Thank you.
No, Turkey has not requested meetings or consultations. Obviously, we strongly condemn the attacks, and we follow the situation closely. But so far, Turkey has not requested consultations or any further support.
The Secretary has got it right. Turkey hasn't asked for any further support at this time, and so we are, as always, concerned about the defense of a great ally like Turkey, but at this time we have no request.
Terry Schultz with National Public Radio and CBS News. Welcome, sir. And now the harder part. Secretary General and also General, if you'd like to comment. The Patriots are near the border with Syria to protect against airborne threats to an ally. Now you've got threats coming in on the ground, possibly. I understand we don't know the source, perhaps, of the car bombs yet. But what can NATO do about that? If you're there to protect the populations, don't you also have a responsibility on the ground as well as possible missiles?
I think we should all recall that Turkey has a very strong defense herself. But obviously, if Turkey requests consultations and further support, that will be considered within the alliance. But as I stated, so far we have not received any new requests from Turkey.
Sonomut from NTV Turkey. I know that in the past you have prepared some contingency plan with regard the possible escalation between Turkey and Syria, and therefore I was wondering whether you still continue to update it and whether you expect from Turkey in the near future any additional request or at least an initiative coming from either SHAPE or either the NAC. Thank you.
As a matter of principle, we never comment on contingency plans, but I can assure you that we have all plans in place and we have all updated plans in place to ensure effective defense and protection of Turkey.
To the General Breedlove from AFP. What's your biggest priority and maybe the biggest challenge you face as SACEUR?
Okay, I'm going to not answer the question you asked. I'm going to give you two big priorities, because I think the first priority is the cohesion of this great alliance. As we change the way we are doing business in Afghanistan, we need to fight to continue to hang on to all of the gains that we have made across the last 10 years. NATO forces have become so much more interoperable, so much more capable together because we have been in this great conflict together for almost 12 years. And what we can't afford to do is to relax as our posture changes in Afghanistan and to lose that great cohesion. And then secondarily, we have to get the transition in Afghanistan right. We simply have to make sure that we are handing over to a capable force that can keep Afghanistan secure and prepare for a great future in that nation.
I'm from Belgium. I have a question about Belgium and this headquarters. Can you ensure us that SHAPE won't move? There has been many fears a few years ago. In the next future, will this headquarters stay here?
Ma'am, I've been in the job for about 12 minutes, I think, maybe 15 minutes. And I am aware of no plans to change where this headquarters is, but this is something that we will review in the future. I will say this to you from Belgium. I've served in Spain, I've served in Italy, and I've served in Germany many times. I'm really looking forward to now serving in Belgium and getting to know the people and the culture here.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, Adrian Croft again. For General Breedlove, could we ask you if you have any more precise date as to when the final tranche of the handover in Afghanistan will happen? I know we're expecting that to happen in the spring, but will that be towards the end of June, do you think? And also, do you have any? Can you give us any thoughts about how big the post-2014 mission will have to be?
I can't really satisfy with either. I know that the consultations are going on now for the handover of the last tranche. I think it will be sooner rather than later, but this is something that we'll talk to General Dunford and obviously the government of Afghanistan about that decision.